Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Scotty B Show, Michigan Sports Edition. Today, we're going to talk about Detroit's got the big four. They got the basketball, hockey, baseball, football. Uh, just want to know, what do you think is going to be the next team to have a winning record? We've been struggling in all four sports the last few years. Just watched the University of Michigan today win, and they're going to the Elite Eight. They beat Florida State 76-58, and they played Tuesday, March 30th against UCLA, who's ranked number 11. Michigan's number 1. So it looks like they're rolling along pretty good right now. But as far as the Big Four sports goes, just trying to see what you think. Who's going to have the next winning season? Let's take a look at the Pistons, for example. So the Pistons last year finished 13th in the Eastern Division. They were 20-46. That year before, they were 41-41. They went to the playoffs. They lost the first round to the Milwaukee Bucks 4-0. I don't consider that a winning season. They were 500, but it's not a winning season. And I guess the question is too, what do you consider a winning season? Is 500 winning for you? Is just making the playoffs winning for you, or is it, do you have to win in the playoffs, or do you have to win the whole thing? Do you have to win the championship to have it a winning season? I know everybody has a different opinion on that. So um, just to go back to it, in 17 and 18 for the Pistons, they were 39-43, finished 9th. Finished 10th. They finished 8th in 15 and 16, which was winning season record wise, 44-38. They lost in the first round to Cleveland Cavaliers 4-0. So was that a winning season? They had a winning record, 44-38, 13 games out. They lost first round in Cleveland, of course. Yeah, they had a winning record, so it was a winning season. Yes and no. I mean, I think, to me, a winning season is, let's get in the playoffs. Let's at least win one. Um, but for some of the teams, I know, like the Pistons right now, they're struggling a bit. Again, this year, they're going to finish in the bottom 3 at least, if not the last. Last year they were 33 and 40. I'm sorry. Last year they were 20-46. They were 33 and a half games out. So they're way down there again this year. So they're going to have to draft good, get themselves back in there. How long is it going to take them to get back to the top? I don't know. Now, like I said, as far as winning season, 44-38, lost first round to Cleveland Cavaliers. Before that, they never did make the playoffs. And since 2008-2009 season, they were the 8th seed again. They were 39-43 with a losing record, 27 games out. They lost the first round to Cleveland Cavaliers 4-0. Now, the year before that, 2007-2008, they were the 2nd seed, 59-23. They won the first round against 76ers 4-2. They beat Orlando Magic in the conference semifinals 4-1. And then they lost in the conference finals to the Celtics 4-2. I would consider that a winning season. But like I said, everybody has a different opinion on what is a winning season and what isn't. Would you go back to 15 and 16 where they were 44-38, 13 games out, but they lost first round Cleveland? Would you consider that a winning season? Yeah, you can, but I still think you got to win in the playoffs. Especially in basketball, I think you need to win the first round. And the 41-41 in 2018 and 19, they were 19 games out. They lost the first round to Milwaukee Bucks 4-0. I don't consider that a winning season at all. When they were 44-38, yes and no. It's hard to say. But I would have to go all the way back to 2007, 2008 when they were 59-23 and they won first two rounds and then they lost to the Boston Celtics. Winning season for me. So I don't see the Pistons. I know the Pistons this year, like I said, are going to be at least in the bottom three, if not last, or in the bottom two. I don't think the Pistons are going to be back next year, neither. I think they're at least a couple years away from coming back up. So hopefully they can get things back on the right track because we need some championships going on here in the Big D. Now, let's take a look at the Red Wings. Sorry, guys. So the Red Wings, another team struggling. They're in last place again this year. They've played good last 2 to 3 games, I guess it is. But I don't see them doing anything serious. I don't think they make the playoffs. The year before, of course, shortened years, 17-49, they were didn't qualify for the playoffs. 32-40, 18-19. They were 30-39 and 17-18, 33-36 and 16-17. And 15-16 season, they were 41-30. They did make the playoffs. They lost the first round to Tampa Bay Lightning, 4-1. The last time they won in the playoffs was 2012-2013 season. They were 48-24. And they won the conference quarterfinals against Anaheim Ducks 4-3. And then they lost the conference semifinals to Chicago Blackhawks 4-3. So that would be a winning season for me. I know they didn't win it all, but I would consider that a winning season. So, what I don't know what you guys think about that. I'm sorry, they were 24-16, shortened season that year. But then 2013-14, they lost in the first round to Boston Bruins 4-1. They were 39-28. And then the 14-15 season, they were 43-25, and they lost the first round to Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3. And then 15-16, they were 41-30, and they lost the first round Tampa Bay Lightning 4-1. And then after that, they did not make the playoffs in the next 4 years, and they won't make it this year. I don't believe so anyway. So you consider that a winning season? They were 41-30 in 2015-16. They lost the first round Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't, because like I said, even in basketball, you got to win the first. I think you got to win at least the first round. Because there's always going to be a team better than you somewhere down the road unless you win it all. So if you can win at least first round, then to me that's a winning season because you crossed over into the playoffs. And so that for me would be 2012-2013 was a shortened season, 24-16. They won the Western Conference. But the year before, 2011-2012, they're 48-28, but they lost the conference quarterfinals to Nashville Predators 4-1. And then the year before that, in 2010-11, they were 47-25. They won the conference quarterfinals against Phoenix Coyotes 4-0. Then they lost the conference semifinals to San Jose Sharks 4-3. That was a good year. It was a good year for them. But, so like I said, everybody has a different opinion on what is a winning season. If it's just a winning record during the regular season, no matter how you do in the playoffs, or is it a winning record in the regular season plus at least winning one game in the playoffs? That's my opinion. One game in the playoffs with the winning record. Of course, you want them to go all the way, but to me, that's a good season. But I don't see the Red Wings coming back. I think they're playing pretty good right now, on and off, but they might be back next year. I wouldn't be surprised to see them back next year, but I think it might be one more year after that they're going to be even better. So, um, so that's it for the Red Wings. Let's take a look at the Detroit Tigers. What did I do? So let's take a look at the Tigers here. So of course everybody knows Tigers are rebuilding. I don't. This year they're just breaking spring training. They're just coming up right now to play some exhibition games, and then April 1st is the first game of the season. Um, because of their pitching, I don't think they're going anywhere this year. They are going to be at the bottom of the pack. Um, Hopefully, some of the young guys that do well that they sent back down to AAA, and they're able to call up some guys and maybe turn the season around a little bit, at least finish decent. Last year in a shortened season, they were 23-35. The year before, though, they were 47-114. So they got some rebuilding to do, and it starts with the pitching. I believe your starting pitching, relief pitching is big these days because they don't let starters go as long as they used to. Um, so it's been since 2016. The Tigers were 86-75. They didn't make the playoffs. Michael Fulmer was the rookie of the year. So I don't know if you consider that a winning season. 2014, they came in first at 90-72. Then they lost in the ADLS to Baltimore Orioles 3-0. And the year before that, in 2013, they came in first in their division, 93-69. They won the ADLS against Oakland Athletics 3-2, and then they lost to the ALCS to the Boston Red Sox 4-2. Miguel Cabrera was the MVP of the year, and Max Scherzer was Cy Young Award winner. So I don't know if you consider that their last winning season since they won the first round in the playoffs. That's my opinion. That is. Of course, their pitching after everything started going. Of course, the team started going right with the pitching, right down the tubes. So, got to get the pitching back up, and everything will be okay. So, see what they got this year. Like I said, I don't think they're going to move up off the bottom too much. But so to me, their last winning season was 2013. Of course, 2012 they went all the way to the World Series, lost against the Giants 4-0. So that was a great year for them. They just didn't play well against the Giants. I don't know why. So I don't know like I said, everybody has a different opinion on winning seasons. To me, I would say they made it to the World Series, even though they lost against the Giants. That was a winning season. But so it was 2013. They won the first round against Athletics. They lost to the Red Sox. So 2014, 90 wins. They lost to Baltimore. It was a good year, but like I said, they lost in the first round. So, and then after that, they went down to tanks every year since. So they got to get their pitching back on track, and hopefully they can do that. And then next up would be, of course, the Detroit Lions. Oops, sorry. So taking a look at the Lions, who made a bad choice by letting Jim Caldwell go. That's just my opinion. When they hired him, I thought it was a great hire. Excuse me. I thought it was a great hire. I really like the guy as a coach and as a person. They brought in Matt Patricia. I didn't know anything about him, so I didn't know what to expect. But you know, last year they were 5-11, 4-7 under Patricia, uh, 3-12-1 under Patricia, 6-10 under Patricia. Just can't have that because during the years Caldwell was there, he had one losing season. But he started off. He came in after the team went 7-9 in 2013. He came in and went 11-5. They lost the wild card playoffs to the Cowboys 24-20, which they didn't really lose. They got ripped off in that game. That's just my opinion from watching the game, but I feel they got ripped off. They went 7-9 the next year, 9-7 the year after, and they went to the playoffs and lost in wild cards to Seattle Seahawks 26-6. Then Caldwell's final year 9-7, and they said 9-7 wasn't good enough. And then they brought in Matt Patricia, and everything went to hell. But I like what the Lions are looking like this year. I really do. I mean, I know they got rid of Stafford, but Goff is a good quarterback. He took the Rams to the Super Bowl. He didn't win, but he took them to the Super Bowl. So what's wrong with that? We got a couple decent running backs, and the offensive line is good. I think we just need a tackle, one or two tackles. Of course, a receiving corps. We lost Galladay, but I think we're fine on the receiving corps. I really do. And there is a good receiver in the draft that they wanted to draft him in the first round. I would agree to that, but after that, it's got to be all defense. They have got to build their defense up. Lions are not going to win with it. They have no linebacking core, and their cornerbacks depleted after the trades they did last year. So they have got to build that back up, and they got to do it through the draft. So if they can draft good, I think the Lions can come out very good this year. Now, like I said, their last, and everybody, like I said, everybody's got a different opinion on winning season. Is a winning record and winning in the playoffs a winning season, or just a winning record? Their last winning record was 2017 under Caldwell at 9-7. He was 9-7 the year before, and he lost in the playoffs. He was 11-5. They lost in the playoffs. 2011, Jim Schwartz as the coach. They were 10-6. They lost the wild card playoffs at New Orleans Saints, 45-28. So, do they have to win in the playoffs? Yeah, they got to win in the playoffs. 91 was last time they won in the playoffs. And they beat divisional playoffs. They beat the Cowboys 38-6. And then they lost the championship game to the Redskins 41-10. That was under Wayne Fontes. So they have got to. But I think for what they went through the last 3 years under Patricia, 6-10, 3-12-1, 5-11, I would like to see. I think this year, and I just believe that they have a decent team, and I think in our division, a decent team, you could at least come in second. I think they're better than Minnesota. I think they're better than Chicago. Green Bay, no, not yet. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is getting older, but he's still good. He's still one of the best quarterbacks. So, but Goff has done it before. So if they draft right, if they get the right draft going, they get that defense built up where we can stop people, I believe we're better than Minnesota and Chicago. I believe we can at least come in second place, and I believe we can go 9-7. I know it's a stretch, but I really think we can go 9-7 this year if they draft right. So, to me, the next big team for Detroit to have a winning record, which would be this year, would be the Detroit Lions at 9-7. Now that's a winning record. Is it winning season? No, not yet. But it's a winning record. So I guess the question is, the next winning record goes to the Detroit Lions. Next winning season, that's hard to say. I mean, I think the Red Wings are a couple of years away. The Pistons definitely are at least 2 to 3 years out. The Tigers, until they start getting their pitching together, I see that on the starting lineup for coming up north. Fulmer's not a starter. They're putting him in the bullpen. I don't know if that's the right choice. Maybe they're just letting him get some innings in since he missed some time in spring training. But if we don't have the pitching, the Tigers are not going anywhere. I don't care. They're not going to go anywhere. So I think they could be a year or two away. But the Lions, I truly believe the Lions can go 9-7 this year and get second place in the division. Would it surprise me if they finished under 500? It wouldn't surprise me. But like I said, this is before the draft. So for me, if they draft correctly, they draft right, they build that defense back up, the linebacking core and the cornerbacks, I think they're going to be okay. They still have a decent offense. I know Stafford's gone, but Goff is a good quarterback. So I think if they draft right, they can go 9-7 this year. Not a problem. Now, is that going to get them into playoffs? I don't know. It would be nice, but it's going to be a tough job. We got Dan Campbell, new head coach. He coached 1 year in Miami, but he's a tough guy. He played for us, and so his band of pro football players that he's got on his coaching staff there. That's the other thing. I mean, how is the communication going to be and everything like that? Nobody knows anything. We haven't started anything with these guys. But if you look on paper and you look at the team, I think they still have a very good offense. I think Goff can lead that offense. If we get one good wide receiver out of the draft, if they draft a top wide receiver, their number one pick, I wouldn't be mad about it. But I want all the rest of them to be defense. We got to build up the linebacking core, the cornerbacks. They signed a few. I think they signed 2 or 3 free agents for the defensive front line. So they draft some linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties. We have got to get that defense going. We get that defense going, we're going to be a decent football team. We can play with a lot of teams. And if they draft right, they're going to go 9-7. If they don't, they could be down as far as 6-10. I mean, just because the defense isn't going to stop anybody. And I thought Matt Stafford was a great quarterback, and we're going to miss him. But he didn't have a good defense this year, which didn't help at all. I mean, Patricia was supposed to be a defensive guy, and it seems like he ripped our defense right apart. They tore it right down. So hopefully these guys can get it back together and get us going up there. So in my opinion, like I said, the Detroit Lions are going to have the next winning record. Who's going to get in the playoffs next? It's hard to say. Lions could get in the playoffs. They could go 10-6 next year. It wouldn't surprise me none. It would, but like I said, it all depends on the draft. Once the draft is over, then we'll have a better perception on that. But if they draft right, I can see them going 9-7, no problem, finishing second in their division. And I know a lot of people are going to think I'm nuts in the head, but that's what I see. Just because of our offense, if we can get a defense back, we're going to be fine. So anyway, that is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I don't know what you guys think. Leave some comments down there. Let me know what you think. All right. I appreciate you stopping by. God bless. Take care.